Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to Civil Quality Hub. In today's video, we are going to understand one of the most important quality document, okay, which is used in every construction project. That is work inspection request, which is commonly known as WIR. If you are a QA/QC engineer or site engineer or civil engineer or a fresh graduate preparing for interviews, this video will help you to understand what is WIR, why is it required, which ISO clause are related to WIR, what document should be attached, and what will be the consultant's response codes, okay, what they mean, and common mistakes that engineers make. So let's get started. Okay, let's begin with the basic question. What is WIR? Okay, as you all know that WIR stands for work inspection request. WIR is an official document which is submitted by the contractor to request the consultant or engineer to inspect the completed work before proceeding to the next construction activity. Okay, so in simple words, a WIR is an invitation for inspection. By submitting WIR, the contractor is confirming that, or WIR proves that the work has been completed and internally quality checks have already been carried out. The work complies with the approved shop drawings and the work complies with project specification, and it is ready for consultant inspection. Okay, now if you see here on the screen, there is a workflow for WIRs. Okay, contractor completes the work and inform the QC. Okay, then QC inspect internally and raises if it satisfies the specification and drawings. He raises the WIR for consultant inspection. Okay, after raising to consultant inspection, the consultant usually gives the 4 responses. Okay, code A, that means it is accepted and proceed for next activity. Code B, accepted with comment, okay, and correct the comments and continue to next activity. Okay, code C means revise and resubmit, that rectify the work, rework and resubmit. And code D is rejected. And remember, okay, different projects may use different coding system. Always refer to the project quality procedure. Now let us understand with a practical example. Okay, before that, where can we get a WIR format? Okay, this is also a common question. Where do we get approved WIR format? The answer is always use the project approved format normally, which is available in project quality plan or inspection procedure or client quality documents. Okay, never create your own format unless and until instructed. Okay, using the approved format ensures compliance with the project quality management system. So now let us move to practical example. Okay, suppose a reinforcement work for a concrete slab has been completed. Can we immediately start the concrete pouring? No, absolutely not. First, QA/QC engineer will perform an internal inspection. If everything is satisfactory, then a WIR is submitted. Okay, then the consultant inspects the work. Only after receiving approval, we can proceed for concrete pouring. Okay, skipping this process of raising WIR may lead to NCRs, rejected work, or even need demolition. Okay, so let us go to what are the attachments for WIR. Before that, I would like to tell you that different projects uses different terms. Like in few projects, they also called as RFI. Okay, that means that request for inspection. Okay, different companies uses different names. Some call it WIR, some call it RFI. Okay, both serves the same purpose. And however, don't confuse that this RFI, which also stands for request for information, that is completely different. Okay, that is completely different. This RFI means request for information, which we use to seek clarification from the consultant. Okay, so now let's discuss what are the attachments for the WIR. Okay, I have listed it over here. Okay, a WIR without proper attachment is one of the most common reason for rejection. Okay, the required attachment depends upon the activity. Okay, for civil work, that is approved shop drawings, material approval, method statements, ITP, survey report, level reports, inspection checklist. Okay, and your calibration certificates for equipments used. Okay, these are the civil works. What I have mentioned here is for finishing works. Okay, so let us go one by one, like mock-up approval, sample approval, okay, material approval, shop drawing approval, survey reports, inspection checklist, ITP, method statements, and MEP clearance if required, and even the WIR for previous activity, okay, which is approved. Okay, so these are the major main attachments used for WIR submission. And how many hours? Okay, before going to this topic, I forgot to inform you about ISO. Okay, which I initially said during the starting of video that I will discuss, which ISO clause mentions WIR. Okay, the main thing is in ISO 9001 2015, they never specifically mention the term WIR. Instead, ISO requires organizations to control the inspection and maintain quality records. The most relevant clauses, okay, I will tell you most relevant clauses which are related to this. Okay, clause number 8.5.1, that means control of production and service provision. Okay, and clause number 8.6, release of product and services. That means no approval means no release, no release means and no next activity. Okay, and one more clause which we can relate is clause number 7.5, documented information. Okay, that means approved WIR becomes documented evidence. Okay, which is very important. So now here we go with slide, how many hours before an inspection should be submitted. Okay, there is no universal or ISO requirement. Okay, standards. The notice period depends upon contract documents, project specification, inspection procedure, or project quality plan. Okay, so normally inspection requires about 24 hours notice. For concrete pouring, often requires 24 to 48 hours, and major hold points may require 48 hours or more. And regarding this hold point, I will discuss in next video when we will make for ITP. Okay, and always follow your project's approved procedures for this. Okay, now let us move to next slide, that is common mistakes that QA/QC engineer makes. Okay, now let us discuss some mistake frequently made by new QA/QC engineers or intern engineers. Okay, submitting WIR before completing the work is also a common mistake which we notice. Okay, submitting missing mandatory attachments with WIR. Many times they forget to attach material approval or mock-up approval, sample approvals, which is very important. Okay, using outdated drawing revisions. People forget that there is a new revision came and they mistakenly attach the old revision. That might be also the reason for rejection of WIR. Okay, using unapproved material, skipping internal inspections is also a common mistake. Ignoring ITP hold points and proceeding with the next activity before consultant approval. Okay, ignoring consultant comment also after receiving code B, like in previous inspection consultant gave a common comment which should be followed for next activity, same activity. Okay, should not be repeated these comments. Okay, avoid this mistake. Avoiding this mistakes can significantly reduces rejected inspections and improve your project's quality performance. Okay, let's conclude today's session. A WIR, work inspection request is much more than just a document for obtaining a signature. It is an official quality record providing that work was completed, inspected, and verified and accepted in accordance with the project requirement. Approved WIR becomes valuable record during handing over ISO audits, warranty claims, future maintenance, or even legal investigation later. Okay, as an QA/QC engineer, our responsibility is not only to prepare WIS but also to ensure that every inspection is properly planned, documented, and approved. Okay, so thank you. If you found this video helpful, please support the channel by liking the video, sharing it to your fellow engineers, and subscribing to Civil Quality Hub. And also let me know in the comments which QA/QC topic you would like me to cover in next videos. Okay. One thing I forgot to tell you: this WIR comes under quality control tool, as we discussed in previous module 2, that what is the difference between QA and QC. Okay, so in QC, WIR comes under QC tool. Okay, so thank you, see you in next video. Assalamu alaikum.